Go, go, парни, go. Быстрее, 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 быстрее.
In Pokrovsk, soldiers of the 3rd Special Operations Forces Regiment destroyed a Russian sabotage reconnaissance group consisting of 4 invaders. The command of the Special Operations Forces reported on this and released a video of the incident. The Russians were attempting to gather in a high-rise building to continue advancing through the city. During the special operation, Ukrainian Special Forces set up an ambush along the enemy's route. Thanks to the group's coordinated combat work, 4 Russian invaders were neutralized. The enemy tried to gather in a high-rise building, but as they approached the shelter, 3 Russians were eliminated. The 4th attempted to retreat and shoot down a Ukrainian reconnaissance drone with small arms. However, he was detected and destroyed, the SOF reported. During their withdrawal, Ukrainian soldiers also detected and neutralized a Russian waiting drone. According to the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine in the Pokrovsk sector, Ukrainian defenders on November 25th halted 52 Russian assault actions in the areas of the settlements of Shakhov, Zatashok, Novoshakhov, Dorozhny, Viln, Chervony Lyman, Rodinsky, Mirnohrad, Zvirove, Udakne, Hryshine, Molodetske, Muravka, and Filia. The Russians are pressuring Pokrovsk from different directions, and fighting is taking place not only on the outskirts but also inside the city itself, stated Serhiy Okashev, an officer of the Communications Department of the 7th Air Assault Corps, in an interview with Suspiln Studio. According to him, all efforts are now focused on holding the current positions and preventing further enemy infiltration into the city. Therefore, the defense forces are increasing their capabilities and building up personnel to defend Pokrovsk and Mirnohrad. Ukrainian defenders are actively eliminating Russian forces both from the air and on the ground, and are working to disrupt the enemy's logistics. Drones, artillery, and other means of destruction carry out strikes on the rear movement routes of Russian troops. Thanks to this, the number of Russian assault attempts using heavy armored vehicles has been significantly reduced, the officer said. The Russians are also trying to cut the connection between Mirnohrad and Pokrovsk and aim to encircle the city.
Быстро, быстро ушли. Быстро уходи, быстро, быстро. Жду на. Все, парни, переходим сюда. Ляпнулся. Посмотри, болото, на ноги посмотри. Вот так парни вокруг. Колбаса с Покровска.
Also, in Pokrovsk, Ukrainian assault troops and drone operators freed a Ukrainian armed forces soldier from Russian captivity. The operation was carried out by members of the 425th Separate Skelya Assault Regiment. The captured soldier serves in the 157th Separate Mechanized Brigade. He had lost his route and inadvertently entered Russian positions. The regiment command ordered us to extract the soldier at any cost, the Skelya regiment said. The operation began with drone operators striking Russian positions at night. During the attacks, the drones tracked enemy movements and disrupted their actions. After the strikes, Russian troops began leaving shelters and scattering through a nearby tree line. The drone footage showed at least 5 Russian soldiers, who were then pursued by Ukrainian drones. 2 Ukrainian soldiers were then sent to recover the captive. They found him in one of the craters. He had minor injuries but was transported back to Ukrainian positions and given medical care. This is not the first such incident. In April, drone operators of the 1st Separate Siversk Tank Brigade forced Russian troops away from captured Ukrainian soldiers and freed them. Ukraine's newly formed unmanned system forces have received 10,000 applications in just 25 days, 8,015 processed, 1,828 in contact, 1,449 assigned to units. Notably, 35% of applicants are civilians, meaning most of the interest is coming from within the military itself. Ukraine's Unmanned Systems Forces announced on October 31st that they are opening 15,000 new positions, half of which are available for specialists from civilian life. Amid the ongoing Russo-Ukrainian war, the SBS says its units recently passed the milestone of eliminating more than 7,000 Russian soldiers in October alone, which makes for 1/3 of verified Russian combat losses, and 23,500 targets hit in that month. Major Robert Madyar Brovdi, SBS commander of Ukraine, said the drone units currently make up just 2% of the military, but account for 35% of verified strikes against Russian targets. He described the force as a system that works and announced its expansion. Brovdi declared that drones are now waiting for pilots, not the other way around, urging Ukrainians to join one of the 12 SBS units. Madyar published the Colors of the Night over Russia carried out by the SBS birds, together with the SSO, SBU, HUR, SBGS, and other components of Ukraine's deep strike system. The Beriv Aviation Repair Plant, TNTK, Taganrog, Rostov region, with a 50 long-range radar aircraft and others, an A-50 aircraft, or the experimental A-60. According to operational data, at least 3 A-50 and 1 Tu-95 MS were undergoing repairs at this location at the time of the strike. Atlant Aero Plant, Taganrog, Rostov region. Manufacturer of Molniya strike recon UAVs and electronic warfare systems. Sheskari's oil terminal, Novorossiysk, Krasnodar region. One of Russia's largest marine oil terminals with a capacity of 39.9 million tons of oil per year. Oil loading/unloading stands and an S-400 launcher were pecked. Tuapse Oil Refinery, Tuapse, Krasnodar region. The only major refinery on the Black Sea coast, with a processing capacity of up to 12 million tons of oil per year. New footage show significant damage after strikes on Taganrog hit the grounds of a major aerospace research and production facility. New satellite imagery from Dnipro-Osint confirms the destruction of 2 aircraft during the strike on Taganrog, the rare A-60 laser lab and an Il-76 transport plane. The Beriv plant's final assembly hall also sustained serious damage. An S-400 position was hit as well, though the full impact is unclear from satellite visuals. Russian aviation-linked channel fighter bomber confirms the A-60 laser lab aircraft was destroyed in the Taganrog strike. The plane reportedly hadn't flown since 2016 and was claimed abandoned. About 50 drones and 3 missiles hit the airfield. While they claim no losses to personnel or key infrastructure, the city itself reportedly suffered more. Ukraine's air defense had a strong night, with 3 ballistic missiles aimed at Kyiv, reportedly Iskander-Ms, intercepted by the Patriot system, which performed flawlessly, according to Air Force spokesman Yuri Ihnat. He also confirmed at least 1 Kinjal was intercepted. Not all remaining missiles hit their targets, though details are being withheld for operational security.
Mr. Kolostovsky. Well, as you see, there were cruise missiles, there were ballistic, there were aeroballistic, and drones, right? So the specifics here, well, here one can simply analyze, right? To say, well, even describe the nature of this strike. A large number of drones were directed from various locations, which we also mentioned in our earlier report. Many are flying through the Chernihiv and Sumy regions. The Chernihiv region was truly all red in the latter half of the night because many drones were flying from there towards the Kyiv region. And a huge number, dozens and dozens of UAVs flew towards Odessa. They fly in groups. It seems that there's one marker, yes, on the monitor, but in reality it could be a group of several, therefore it's not always possible to immediately count how many attacked tonight. Well, the ballistics were shot down. All 3 Iskander-M ballistic missiles were destroyed. Also 5 caliber cruise missiles and 5 Iskander-K were destroyed. The Kinjal was also intercepted. And not all missiles, not counted as downed, let's say, hit their targets. Because we deliberately, as you quoted, yes, the hits of missiles and so many drones, 26. Well, regarding missiles, we'll provide information rather concisely. We have SES data and information on where these few missiles struck. However, this information is also valuable to the enemy, so it's presented as is, and the attack's peculiarity is what the president of Ukraine has already announced.
These are the objects that entered the airspace of both Romania and Moldova.
Russian drones, it must be said, are no longer just hostile. They've already flown into other states' territory, including a NATO member. They reacted accordingly. The Romanian side, perhaps, will report how they responded to these threats.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comment section. The membership link is in the description.
Rescues every day. We had a guy last week, it's 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.